Hello and welcome to this week's video. This week we look at words and phrases used when looking for a bank and also using our bank account at university. We look at key banking words and phrases as well as how our parents can help us. Don't forget to stay until the end to test your knowledge by taking our quiz. Anyway, let's get started with the first word. The first word we have for you this week is overdraft. So let's learn a little more about how to pronounce this in the pronunciation section. Overdraft. And again, overdraft. That's great. So let's take a look at the definition and learn more about overdrafts. This is when a bank account has less than £0 and 0 pence in it, and there is negative money. That's new. So now let's take a look at an example so we can learn more about overdrafts. Tony was lucky enough to have signed up to a student bank account. So when he had many bills to pay and his account was at minus £17.56, he was not charged extra bank money. This week's second phrase is interest rates. So let's look a little more at this one by looking at the pronunciation again. Interest rates. And again, interest rates. Perfect. So let's delve into the definition to learn more about interest rates. This is a percentage of money banks give or take based on the amount of savings or debt you have. Interesting. So let's take a look at an example and learn a little more about how interest rates can affect us. Amy did not have a student bank account and had minus £10 in her bank account. The interest rate was 0.1%. Therefore, the bank charged her 1 pence that month. Our next phrase this week is 0% overdraft. So as always, let's look into the pronunciation next. 0% overdraft. Interesting. And again, 0% overdraft. Excellent. So let's continue to learn about the 0% overdraft by looking at the definition. So this is when a bank account does not charge you any interest on your overdraft. That's interesting. So let's now take a look at an example of how we can use 0% overdraft in everyday sentences. Steve was delighted he chose to have a student bank account before he started university. He had an overdraft of £100 1 month and was not charged by his bank. For our penultimate word of the week, we have that of debt. So let's have a quick look at the pronunciation of this short word. So this is a very short pronunciation, which is debt. And again, debt. Excellent. Now, what does debt mean? So let's take a look at the definition. This is an amount of money you owe to a bank after going below £0 and 0 pence in your bank account. Interesting. So let's learn a little more by looking at the example. Jane was proud that she was able to manage her money well throughout her studies. She never went into debt at any point. Our final word this week is parental contributions. Now, let's take a look at the pronunciation to learn how to pronounce this correctly. Parental contributions. And again, parental contributions. Excellent. So let's learn a little more by looking at the definition. This is money received by students from parents to help them pay for essential things whilst at university. Dave was grateful for his parental contributions whilst at university. This was because neither his grant nor his part-time job paid enough. Now it's time to test your knowledge with our weekly quiz to see how much of today's lesson you can remember. We will ask you 3 questions on the vocabulary we have learnt in this lesson. Question 1. What word describes when we have less than £0 in our bank account? Would it be A, debt, B, lent, or C, borrow? And the correct answer is A, debt. Question 2. Which describes money given to us by our parents? Would it be A, parental contributions, B, parental overdraft, or C, parental interest? And the correct answer is A, parental contributions. Question number 3. How much money would a bank account have if it was in an overdraft? Would it be A, £563, B, £0 and 0 pence, or C, minus £107? And the correct answer for question 3 is C, minus £107. Let us know in the comments box how you did in this week's quiz. And congratulations if you got all 3 questions correct. Thank you for joining us again today. If you have any questions about the lesson or would like us to explain a word from any context, then please post your question in the comments box below. We are always happy to help. Don't forget to like our video to help us achieve more views and to expand our channel in order to provide you with an even better experience. Why not press the subscribe button and bell notification icon so you never miss out on a future video? Next week, we will be looking at words and phrases to do with online stores. Once again, thank you for joining us this week, and see you again next week. Goodbye.